government and politics and a minor in Middle East studies. She was also part of the College Park Scholars Program in International Studies. While she was mastering political science over the past 4 years, she also held several leadership positions on campus. She served as the director of student groups for the Student Government Association, president of the Terrapin Israel Public Affairs Committee, and worked as a peer advisor in the Department of Government and Politics. Traci, after graduation, will be traveling to Israel to participate in an intensive Hebrew language program and hopes to attend graduate school in public policy when she comes back. Traci has a wonderful speech for you today. Please give a warm welcome to Traci Siegel.
Family, friends, faculty, staff, and especially you guys, my fellow graduates, it's an extreme honor to be speaking here today. When you set out to do something that takes 4 years, or longer for some, sometimes you can lose track of the reason you started. And it's an important exercise to remind ourselves why we did this. Why did we go to college? Why did we choose our majors? If we can't remember why we started, it becomes harder to know what we're supposed to do when we finish. So when I think about this for myself, I remember being 6 years old, the first time my father took me into the voting booth with him on election day. He let me push the buttons for him, which was obviously really fun for a 6-year-old kid. And he would explain to me why he made his choices, and then I would feel as though my press of a button had an impact in changing the world. I guess that's the simplistic view a 6-year-old can have of our political system. So I continued going every year with my father on election day, and I kept pushing buttons. But obviously, as I got older, I realized I wasn't the one deciding who to vote for. I was just pushing buttons. And I longed to be 18 years old so that I would be able to make my own decisions. The first election I actually voted in was a 2007 primary election. And as you may or may not remember, it was not a very consequential year in central Pennsylvania where I'm from. I think I voted for some district judges and maybe some school board members, but nonetheless, I did my research, and I was so happy to finally be pushing my own buttons and making my own decisions. And then the following year, I voted in the presidential election, and I took part in our nation electing its first Black president. I felt as though my vote had made some substantive difference in the world, but not much. While citizen participation is surely the foundation of our democracy, it's only a foundation. I soon realized that if I wanted to make a real contribution to the world, I would have to do more than just vote. The idea that we have the capacity to have an effect on our future and the future of the world is a realization that many of us know, and for some of us, the reason that brought us where we are today. We came here to learn what we can do to have an impact on the world, and it's not easy. I know for myself, at times I felt entirely discouraged, feeling as though I was learning more about how broken the world is than how we can fix it. But of course, that's where we have to start. We need to learn about the complex problems societies face before we can begin to craft solutions. And even when we get discouraged, we can take comfort in all the incredible changes that have occurred just in the past few years. We have seen the creation of South Sudan, the Arab Spring, and the marriage and subsequent divorce of Kim Kardashian. Some of those events, of course, happen faster than others. This generation, more than ever, we have seen what social media can do to promote democracy, to shed light on human rights violations, to bind disparate communities together in common cause, and to effect changes throughout the world. Just earlier this year, you may remember, we watched SILPA, the Stop Online Piracy Act, fail in the House of Representatives because of an online blackout which had participation from Wikipedia, Reddit, and other major websites and individuals. After just one day of online activism, we saw many members of Congress change their position, and the bill subsequently failed. We live in a world where everyone is his or her own publisher, and online democracy, at least in much of the world, is alive and well. There's a greater capacity to be an engaged citizen and to interact with citizens. People have more power because they can say more, and because more people are listening. We, and we should use it. We have certainly learned a great deal in our time at Maryland, and we have acquired many necessary skills that will allow us to pursue our personal and professional goals. Speaking on behalf of the class of 2012, I would like to thank our family and friends, and the faculty, of course, who are here today, who have helped us along the way. We would have been lost without them. But as much as we have accomplished in the past 4 years, it is sometimes difficult to quantify our skills and to hone in on our purposes. Many of us are just beginning to map out our life plan, and there is an uncertainty that many of us have felt throughout our time at Maryland. Some of us will go to graduate school or law school to help us along the way, and we should. But for those of us who are still searching for our road to take, uncertainty can be a powerful ally. It allows us to follow the changes of the world, to fill in the gaps where they are needed, and to apply our skills across a variety of sectors. This uncertainty means that graduate school or not, we must all strive to continue learning if we want to be successful and lead purposeful lives. Throughout my time in classes with many of you, I have met some incredible people. I am proud to be a part of the class of 2012 because I know that we have an amazing potential to bring positive change to our communities and to the world. But as we leave here today, we must remember that while our potential is great, it requires constant work, education, and evaluation. So am I standing here and really saying, let's go out there and change the world? Maybe I am, but if you plan on doing that, you're going to have to do a lot more than push a few buttons. Congratulations, class of 2012.
Our keynote speaker. Congressman Cardoza is a graduate of the University of Maryland in the Department of Government and Politics, and he currently sits on the University of Maryland's College of Behavioral and Social Sciences Board of Visitors. In Congress, he has represented